You guys have held the last two opponents into the 50s. What's going well defensively for you guys?
I don't know. I think we've grown a lot over. I'm just thinking of the years that I've been here. I think we've grown a lot defensively, and just, we have a really good offense, and we've had really good offense for the past few years. But we've had to learn to take defense more seriously because that's how defense wins championships. That's what Coach Affolter preaches to us all the time. So I think it's just been a different mindset that we have to focus on that.
Rebounding has been a big thing for you guys. Said you're one of those big rebounders. How much is that defense getting better? How much is it just being able to clear the defensive boards and not allow second chances?
Yeah, I think we always talk about ourselves getting second chance opportunities, and that's a really big emphasis for us. So taking that away from the other team has been really important, and it gets our transition going. You get the rebound, and people are up the floor. Hannah's running the floor, mm-hmm. Kate at the 4. So I think that's really important for our transition game as well.
Mm-hmm. What do you think you guys are doing specifically that's better defensively? I've written two game stories, and the lead was defense. It just hasn't happened before.
I think the biggest part of the defense is probably rebounding, limiting their offensive rebounds, their second chance points. But I think we have Gabby and Molly and people that are willing to step up and take their main players. But yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, it's just the attitude on defense is different than knowing we have to get stops.
You guys obviously have a tough matchup against this Sunday against Ohio State. How would you kind of describe them on the road, traveling over there? How would you describe them as an opponent?
We played there last year. I don't think it was necessarily completely sold out, but I think it will be this time. And it's just like any opposing crowd. There'll definitely be more fans for Ohio State, but I know we'll have a ton of Iowa fans there, which is really exciting. But staying together and making sure we're huddling up at every chance we get, every dead ball timeout is really important because it's so loud in there you can't hear all the time. So that'll be huge for us.
I'm sorry. You two obviously know that the crowds, come for Caitlin when they're selling out those shows. But what's that like for you guys? I think that every game you've played in has been sold out since the start of December. What's that been like for both of you two to have this on a nightly basis where you're playing in front of packed arenas?
It's crazy. It's just it's almost the normal now. And it's crazy to think that we didn't have that the past few years. But, tons of people are coming to watch Caitlin, but I think our coaches, they always talk about the light that shines on her, shines on all of us. So we all have that attitude. It's our circle, and it's just really special. And we are so grateful for the fans that come out and support us.
When you look back at your games last year against Ohio State's really good at forcing turnovers. They like to press, things like that. I think they had 27 total points off turnovers in 2 games against you guys last year. What did you guys do well in those games to limit those extra points for them?
I think really just taking care of the ball. Like you said, they do press, and they're a very aggressive team, so there's not going to be a ton of fouls called all the time. But it's fun playing. People want to press us. When we break it, we're going to get points in transition. So I think once we break it a couple of times, they'll end up taking it off. But valuing the ball is going to be really crucial.
Have you guys watched the Maryland-Ohio State game? I guess for Sharon, Mikolashikova showed some post moves that I don't think anybody's seen before. What sort of problems does she present if they keep her inside?
She likes to be outside, but when she comes inside, she's a good post player, and she can. She sets you up for the pro move and everything like that. So it'll just be like every other game. You gotta do what. I don't know. Yeah, post defense will be big. And it will be, more for us probably, more so than Hannah, for me and Addie and AJ. That's when she brings us out to the perimeter that we got to focus on that. But no, I think we'll do okay.
Coach Bluer said after last game that this was one of the strongest benches that she's had in a long time. As both players that have come off the bench this season, how does that make you guys feel about the overall mentality of some of the bench players as well?
I don't know. I think it's really important to have a deep bench. Everyone's not going to have a perfect game every single game, and starters need breaks too. And being able to look at your bench and rely on those players is really important. And on the bench, everyone knows how good they are, and you're just as good to go in there and give those minutes. So
it's a big strength for our team this year.
I think Ohio State will be extra motivated this time around. You guys handed them two, or were successful last year against them twice. So do you think they'll bring that extra motivation this time around?
Yeah, they're definitely going to come in wanting a revenge. So we got to be ready. But you can't take. We are already. What are we halfway through the season already? Yeah. So it's like this is the funnest part of the season, and those rivalry games are fun. And I mean, Indiana was coming in hot. They want to beat us too, and everybody's going to give us their best shot. But yeah, it'll be fun. That's what basketball's all about. So we're excited.
What do you remember about the Big Ten final against them? I mean, it was just kind of a snowball game where everything went right for you guys.
We whooped them.
Yeah, it was just one of those games where we were on a roll, and it did. It kind of was a snowball effect where things kept going right for us and kept making shots, and I think our defense was good that game too. So.
J.C. Sheldon didn't play much in that game, and she didn't play at all in the game in Columbus. How does she change the way you prepare for them?
I mean, she's a great guard. She can score at all three levels, and that's a really big emphasis for us to tag her on all screens and get a hand up on all of her shots. She's a great player, so she'll make tough shots, but that's what we need to focus on is making her take tough twos, not wide open layups or open threes. That's what she wants.
Sharon, I'm curious about the progression of the post room right now, because especially with Hannah out this last week, you guys kind of had a post by committee with AJ even and getting in there, getting a lot of quality minutes. Has that been kind of the theme this year as the season has developed? I mean, with the absence of Monica, that you guys are kind of just stepping in, and everybody knows that if you're a post player, you're probably going to come in and see some quality minutes at some point?
Yeah, it's the coaches said that at the beginning of the year, and I think it still kind of holds true that they don't know what we're going to need in which game we're playing, and all three of us have different skill sets, and we have different strengths and weaknesses between the three of us, excluding Hannah, I mean, but they've done a good job of telling us that we need to be ready when we're called, and I think that was a perfect example the other night of that everybody was ready and dialed in and ready to go.
What did you get from Caitlin for her birthday?
What did we get from her? Yeah. They seem like limited edition. I've never seen those before, but they're really cool. They look like Nike Dunks, probably, I think they are. Some green Nike.
Yeah.
I'm excited
Cool.
about them. I like them.
We love that we get presents for her birthday.
Facts. We like Caitlin's birthday.
She does before the years past, or
She did last year.
Did you girls get anything for her, or just get stuff from her?
Well, her birthday's on Monday, right?
The 22nd.
Oh.
The 22nd, what day that is.
Yeah.
Couple weeks a shot.
What about cornflakes? Did she give you some?
They're like sold out everywhere. I don't know.
Are they gone? I don't know.
Yeah. The first day, I think I was at Hy-Vee. Not even for that, but like, I was looking for them. There's none there. They were all taken.
Darn it.
Thank you.
All right. Obviously, an incredibly difficult opponent coming up this weekend at Ohio State. It's a team that is 9-1 at home, with their only loss being to UCLA. They beat Tennessee by 20. I'm a big fan of J.C. Sheldon. I think she's a tremendous point guard. She came back for her 5th year, and they're healthy. Last year they weren't as healthy as they could have been, especially at the center position, and now they are. Just a really difficult team to prepare for because they press so much, and they have a lot of weapons. And Celeste Taylor was a really good portal get for them from Duke, really good defensive player, and moved right into the starting lineup. So obviously Cody McMahon, a tremendous, his freshman of the year, just a tremendous player, played for USA Basketball this summer, incredible athlete. And so we're going to have our work cut out for us, but we're excited to go on the road and play in another sold-out arena.
About the status of Hannah Stolke, missed the last game. Is she good to go for Sunday?
I think she'll be good to go.
Lisa, obviously much attention goes to the starting 5, but the bench still ranks near the top 10 in the Big Ten in terms of scoring. I guess what is it about those players that are able to make the most of the opportunity, you think, whenever they're on the court?
Yeah. Did you say that our bench ranks in the top 10 of the Big Ten?
Oh, near the top in the.
Oh, near the top. Okay. I mean, Sid Affolter has been playing so well, offensively and defensively, and she is an amazing spark off the bench. Kylie Fierbach provides us some of the same type of action. And then we go to Sharon Goodman, which is a different looking post player than Hannah. But also, she and Addie, and I mean, AJ even did some really good things going in last week. So I've kind of said that I think this is the best bench we've had in a long time here at Iowa, and I believe that.
You talked about Ohio State's press. I think they're averaging 21 forced turnovers a game. Like something like 30% of their points come from off of turnovers. Last year, you guys held them to 13 and 14 near 2 wins off turnovers. Just what are the keys to obviously taking care of the ball, but what specifically do you guys have to do to replicate that?
Yeah, you can't get rattled, right? I mean, that's what they want you to do, is to get rattled and to make unforced errors, to make, silly turnovers. But I mean, they're very aggressive in it. And again, they're long, so they cover a lot of ground in their traps, a lot of space. But we just have to stay composed. And hopefully, going through practice this week will get us prepared for that.
Can you put your finger on why it is that this year's bench and the role players have developed so well? Is it because you lost McKenna and Monica, or is it because there's an experienced group that is deep there on the bench, or why is it that this year's bench has been so good for you guys?
Yeah, I think, first of all, they're quality players, right? I mean, they're really good players, but mostly it's that they have that experience now, and they have confidence. They know that when they go in, what they're expected to do, and they're relishing in their role. They're not like, oh, I don't get a start type of feeling. Instead, they're really relishing in their role and going out there and playing to the most of their abilities.
Nikolai Shikova showed some post moves against Maryland that I haven't seen, but maybe I'm sure you have. What does that do to your defense when she really can make those kind of moves inside, and she's also a really good three-point shooter?
She is. She's hard to defend because of that. She stretches out the defense because she can shoot threes. In fact, I almost think she's their second best three-point shooter on their team. But she's also able to go into the post area, and really she's strong. She's physical. She's quick. She's quicker than you'd think. When you look at her, you think she's not going to be that quick, but she's quick off the bounce. She's quick in her post moves. And it makes it tough because, that you don't want to put our post in a one-on-one situation with her because she's got a really good experience, height, and strength.
How do you like where your defense is right now? You've held 2 straight opponents in the 50s, which you don't do very often against Big Ten teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think our defense is just much improved over last year. And one area is definitely defensive rebounding. I think we're just doing a much better job boxing out and getting the boards, and that enables us to push. But I do think defensively we're better overall than we were last year. Again, maybe it's experience. I loved Monica. She wasn't the best post defensive player, and so now I think we have a few different options to look at there. But I think, Sid again and Kylie and the way that they're coming in and contributing on both sides, but especially defensively in hustle plays, I think that's a big difference for us.
You guys obviously have been successful on the road. Do you think this game is kind of an opportunity for you guys to kind of solidify that dominance on the road against the tough Ohio State team?
Yeah, I mean, you're playing a top 10 team in a sold-out arena on their place. I mean, this is a huge game for us, and it would be a huge win on the road. So, we know it's going to be very, very difficult, but certainly if we get this one, it gives us confidence going forward playing at Indiana, at Maryland, and some of those places.
There's been a lot written in the past about Jan Jensen helping develop the post players on this team. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on how this post group has developed, because with Hannah out, I mean, AJ came in there and played a lot of quality minutes this last week, and where it is you've seen this team grow, where you've seen the post players grow, especially from the beginning of the season to where they are now.
Yeah, I think they've all really come along and developed. Obviously, Hannah's our nod right now at the starting post player. I like that we have different looks that we can give people, in that, Hannah's obviously a more athletic, quicker, speedier post, where Sharon is a little bit more physical, back to your basket, straightforward post, kind of old school post. Addie brings the most height in, And certainly AJ's gone in and done some good things. I mean, so we have 4 post players. That's a lot of fouls that you can give down there, which is kind of a nice thing to have. And we ran into that against Wisconsin when we had, Sharon and Addie both picked up 2 fouls, and we went with AJ, and she did a nice job in there. But I think that, again, Coach Jensen is a fabulous post coach. And she is such a good motivator and confidence builder in those players. That's what makes, I think, Coach Jensen so special in working with our posts.
How do you expect Ohio State's crowd to be? I mean, you guys, obviously they're motivated to come and, hand you guys a loss, but how do you expect the crowd to be on Sunday?
Oh, it's going to be an unbelievable environment. First of all, it's sold out. Last year was sold out, but they draped off the top. I don't think they're doing that this year. So, it's a game that's on national television. It's an opportunity for them to showcase their program, their university, just like we look at those opportunities when we're on national television here in Iowa City. So it's going to be a very, they're always a pretty boisterous crowd there at Ohio State.
A lot of teams, when they go up against the press like Ohio State, their plan is, we just need to break the press to get into our half-court offense. You guys are so good in transition that, if you break their press quickly enough, you can, find a shooter on the outside or get a pass down low. How much more important does that make, breaking their press, knowing that if you guys can break it, there might be opportunities to get some quick points?
That's always the goal. When we're going against a press, we always want to break it and get those high percentage scores, because that's when you're pressing, that's what you're giving up. You're giving up, if you can break the press, you're giving up mismatches at the other end, open shots at the other end, and we did that to them last year, and they had to take it off. And again, anytime you can get a team to go to Plan B, it's a good thing.
J.C. Sheldon played really short minutes in the Big Ten championship and didn't play in the other game. How different are they because she's healthy and back?
Yeah, J.C. Sheldon is just a tremendous basketball player. I know 5'10", she can shoot the 3, but she can beat you off the bounce. And she has a nice pull-up jumper, so she scores kind of, at the rim at 2 points, 3 points. But I think she's also somebody that they really look to. I think she's the leader of that team. I think she's somebody that they were kind of missing it when she was on the bench last year, just kind of, we say Kate's the glue. I feel like she's the glue of that team. Definitely the commanding leader out there. Last year they had Mikasel, who is a tremendous shooter. Obviously, she graduated. So now JC's having to pick up the slack in that area. But again, I'm a pretty big fan of J.C. Sheldon.
How do you guys
Go ahead.
How do you guys kind of plan to guard Cody McMahon? And you talked about how well she played last year as a freshman, probably one of the better young players in the Big Ten. The first thought would probably be Hannah Stolke because of her quickness, her athleticness, but she's going to have to play in the post. Just kind of what are your plans when going up against her?
Yeah, and sometimes Cody will go to the 5 position when they go. They have a short lineup that they like to go to, and so I'm sure Hannah will have some opportunities to go against her. But she's a hard person to defend. Now, she does pick up some offensive fouls because she goes in there sometimes recklessly, and we need to take advantage of that. But she is hard to guard because she's so strong, and she has that spin move at the end of her finish that is, you think you have her stopped, and all of a sudden she's spinning the other direction. So it's not a one-on-one situation when you're guarding Ohio State. I think it has to be a team focus, a team effort.
I saw your statement yesterday, but I'd be curious to ask in person again about Beth Getz getting hired and getting the interim label removed. I mean, she was a big proponent, obviously, of the crossover at Kinnick, and so I imagine there must be just a lot of excitement for you and for this program having her step in as a full-time AD. There
is. I just think Beth Getz was the right choice for this position. We needed her now. She's an unbelievable leader. She's so honest and so transparent, and she communicates so well, but I'm just excited that the University of Iowa is showing how they promote women and how they stand behind women. And, we have a women's athletic director now. We're the only school in the Big Ten right now that has that. There's only 7 in the Power 5. So it's pretty rare company, and I'm really excited that the University of Iowa chose Beth because of not only her unbelievable ability, but because it also shows that we are promoting and backing great women leaders.
Thanks, Cody.
Thank you.